Good morning. So, hair's a little messy. Just woke up, walking out here in my pajamas. Um, so we got all the plants in. Well, phase one of the plants, and still got some more landscape work to do. So I'm gonna walk around and kind of show you what we're doing. When we were building the house last year, kind of ran out of money and didn't do the landscaping other than put the sod down, and I planted some grass in the fall in the backyard, and then did the landscape beds, but I didn't really do any plants other than sort of the bare minimum. The county required us to put some juniper on a hill in the back because of the degrees of the slope or whatever, but looks nice, very pretty. So walk around and kind of show you what we did. And I've got some more projects coming, and I'm going to shoot some videos for those other projects. I didn't really shoot any video of the plants because honestly it's kind of boring. It's just planting plants. We had the plants delivered, when was it? Today is Saturday. Like last Thursday, we had the plants. I actually didn't deliver them. I went and picked them up, or it was actually Friday morning. And that Friday it was me and my mom and my dad. They came over to help, and we put a bunch of plants in the ground, and then it rained all day Saturday, and then Sunday was Easter Sunday, so we didn't really do anything. And then got started Monday, and me and Mom worked Monday and Tuesday. She came over and helped me Monday and Tuesday. And then on Wednesday, I went down to downtown Canton. There's a Chevron down there where you can go pick up some day laborers. I got 3 day laborers, picked up 3 guys down there. They came, and the 4 of us dug holes. I was on a machine. I rented a Kubota mini skid steer with an auger attachment. So I was kind of running around sort of coring out the holes, and then the guys were coming behind me sort of hand digging it out. And then we were doing a 50-50 mixture of that. You can kind of see the bag right there. That's Super Sod Soil 3. Man, that stuff's expensive. Holy crap, they're proud of that stuff. But honestly, it's really fantastic soil. So we were mixing sort of 50-50 native soil with that, amending that, and then putting all the plants in the ground. So I'm going to walk around and kind of show you what we did, and I'll tell you about the future projects. All right, so I'm walking out here to the end of the driveway, and basically we've got an island on either side, which these were already here. So on this side, I just did 4. These are little kitten, I think they're fountain grass. They're little kitten grass, so they're little ornamental grasses. They only get about 18 to 24 inches in size, and they have some little pretty plumes on them. Those are sort of an anchor point. I did 4 of them over here. We were going to do an odd number, but it just seemed kind of weird to do the odd number, so I sort of staggered them back where I did 3 and then 1. And then we kind of amended this up and tilled this around, and these are called Firewitch dianthus. Here, these are cheddar pink Firewitch dianthus. These are a perennial flower, and these will actually spread. It looks almost like a grass. It's got a blue kind of green color. Those will spread out and actually fill this entire area. At our old house, I had the same thing by my mailbox. I am going to change this mailbox out too. That's a summer project for me to do, is actually to dig this out, and I'm going to do a cedar 6x6 for the mailbox post instead of this little 4x4. This was like kind of a crap. We need a mailbox to get our CO, so let's do this really quick. I put one of these little spike things in. This mailbox like wiggles around a lot. So I've also ordered, they'll be here on Monday. I got a whole pallet of, you call them like Nantucket pavers. They're kind of an 8x4 sort of cobble paver. And I'm going to do sort of a border around all of the Firewitch dianthus beds so that they can't spread out of those beds. And then it'll create like sort of a decorative border around that as well. All right, so going over here, it rained yesterday, so the ground's still kind of wet. And that's another saga, the drainage issue of this river coming through. Andy's coming out here probably next week, and we're going to be doing a lot of drainage work. We got to dig up a portion of the front yard here and define that swale a little bit better. And then we're putting in some pipes and digging some more swales and doing some more sod. So that's next week. Me and Andy will take some videos of that. All right, so here we've got some white muhly grass right here. So these will have these beautiful white plumes when they flower out. So we've got 5 of these muhly grass here. to fill this area. I left this out because you can see that's kind of where the drainage naturally runs. And then over here we've got, these are like a dwarf butterfly bush. So these are these are the blue chip butterfly bushes. And then I have some Pugster blues that are over there. So these are the blue chip here. And then I believe we have blue chip on the point of that island peninsula, or that peninsula thing over there. So these are blue chip. I did 5 of them. We've got some drift roses here. We've got 5 white drift roses, and then we're kind of anchoring the sides with coral drift roses. I love drift roses. They stay very low. They get about maybe 4 foot in diameter, a mature size, maybe 2 feet tall. They don't get very tall. You can see the white flowers are already flowering on those. Drift roses are super pretty. I like those. And again, we got the white mealy grass, and then we've got a row of knockouts. And then behind those over there, let me walk around this area. So going over here to sort of anchor this area, we have 3 snowball viburnums here. So 1, 2, 3 snowball viburnums. So those will grow pretty big, and they just basically create like an anchor point in the back. And in the spring, they're gonna flower out with these beautiful white snowball flowers. If you've ever driven around in the spring and you're like, why are the hydrangeas blooming right now? Those actually aren't hydrangeas. Those are snowball viburnums. We've got 3 snowball viburnums, and then we've got, these are knockouts. I was trying to get the double knockouts, but they didn't have any. So these are fine. They're already flowering like super pretty. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the knockouts. And then in the front, I've got that's a peach. Both of these are peach drift roses. So we got some drifts in the front, and then these yellow plants are sunshine ligustrums. So they're an evergreen actually, and they'll stay obviously deciduous and evergreen. So deciduous drops their leaves in the fall. These will keep their leaves on. So those are sunshine ligustrums. So you've got that pop of like that yellow color, and then we've got sort of some anchoring of some 3 white mealy grasses over there on that end. This is phase 2 of the project. I'm going to do this here in the next few months. One of the plans for this is I cut in this turnaround here for an additional sort of parking area for people to park, so they're out of the way and not blocking the driveway. Kind of never got around to it, so I'm actually going to cut this a little bit more kind of back in an angle so you can sort of pull your car in and turn that way. And basically we'll cut it back to here, and then I'm going to get some boulders, and I'm going to dig this out a little bit further, almost back to the grass, and actually set some boulders along here to outline this area. And then this whole area will get filled in with some mini slate chips. So they have that dark gray sort of, yeah, it's like more of a really dark gray color, and that'll just be slate chip gravel. I could pour concrete here, but honestly, the slate chips will add a little bit of a sort of a landscape decorative touch. And then also it's less of an impervious surface, so the water can kind of drain through it. Although we do get a bit of a swimming pool right here because I get a lot of her water running down, filling up this area, and then it spills over here. And you'll see in a minute what I had to do over there. So let's start at this bed here. So we've got white mealy grasses sort of as an accent out on the points here. So we've got 4 on the points of this bed. Some more sunshine ligustrums. These are called double play spirea. So they're going to have like a pink, almost like a little bit of a purple sort of flower on them. Spirea are deciduous, so they'll drop their leaves in the fall, and then they'll grow back in the spring. And then over here we've got these are the Pugster blue butterfly bushes. So these are dwarf. They only get about 24 inches high and tall. So they'll sort of fill in this area. So you've got and they have like a purpley blue flower on them. Same here. So I've got 3 and 3. So these are sort of an anchor point here. Again, white mealy grass. Those white mealy grasses get about up to about 3 feet with their plumes. So they'll sort of fill in this little spot here. These are daylilies here, and these are going to have a I forget what, there's a tag right there. Let me put my coffee down and I'll show you the tag. So these are Daring Deception Daylilies. So they have like a pink flower with sort of a purple inner part of the flower. So they'll be super pretty. And we like totally forgot when we planted all these, and that little guy was like sitting over on the porch over there on the side. We forgot about him. So I've got to plant him right there. We've got some right in the middle here. We've got some, gosh, my mind just went blank. What the heck? Black-eyed Susans. Sorry. So you're going to have a yellow flower there with the Black-eyed Susans. And then we've got 3 more of those double place spirea. I've got some, a couple drift roses in the front. Those are like, I think one's peach and one's coral. Again, sunshine ligustrums. And then we've got a row of that fire witch dianthus over there. Also, those fire witch dianthus will fill in that. And those will continue to bloom. They bloom those little pink flowers in the spring. Just, I mean, it'll be a mound of just pink. And then throughout the summer, they will sort of go through these flushes of blooms. They don't bloom as heavy as they do in the spring, but they do bloom throughout the summer. And again, these will spread out and fill this whole area. So I'm going to take those pavers, those cobbles, and actually frame out this area, define this bed out so that it doesn't sort of creep into other areas. Those are kaleidoscope abelias right here. So they got this sort of variation in the different colors. You've got some sort of pinky orange kind of salmon color. You've got some yellows, some greens, hence the name kaleidoscope. So those are actually evergreens too. And then again, white muhly grass, and we have more of this fire witch dianthus. There'll be a like a Tennessee flagstone sort of stepping stone here. I ordered those with the cobbles. They'll be here on Monday. I'm going to go over here and then we'll come back this way. So that is a endless summer hydrangea. So that's going to be a blue hydrangea. So this area right here gets the sun in the mornings. The sun rises over here, so it gets morning sun. And then from basically about, I don't know, 1 o'clock in the afternoon on, this area is sort of in the shade the rest of the day because of the shade of the house. So you're going to have a blue here, and then these are crimson fire loropetalums. So these are going to be more of a dwarf variety of a loropetalum. They're only going to get about 3 feet tall, mature size about 3 to 4 feet wide. So they'll fill in this area. And they have like, these are like more of like a purple, loropetalums typically have like a purple color. Some of them are a little bit more red than purple. These are more purple, and then their flowers are going to be very red. So they flower out in the spring. And again, more sunshine ligustrums here. That is a strawberry Sunday hydrangea right there. So it's going to have like a red pink sort of flower to it. And then these are August Beauty gardenias. So these are going to have a white flower on them. And then I'm gonna do some annuals in here. This is what I was talking about earlier. We had to put a drain in here because this is sort of a low spot, sort of an oops on my grading plan. Basically, this was like sort of a bowl right here. And this area the soil just stayed waterlogged all the time. It didn't dry out. Because it doesn't get a ton of like afternoon sun to dry it out. So I actually dug down and tied into the gutter downspout drains that we have here. And I put in a 9-inch basin here. And then I'm coming out of the basin, and there's actually a sock pipe that's wrapped in fabric and gravel that actually runs underground right here to sort of capture a lot of that soil or the water in the soil. And what I'm going to do is actually add some topsoil on top of this and make this like a little annual bed right here, just to right on the edge of the driveway. So the annual bed will kind of just curve around right here. So all in here I'll probably do some begonias in here. So I'll have some red. I love begonias. It reminds me of my grandmother always had just tons and tons of begonias in their pool, around their pool in their backyard. She had this big landscape area, this sort of raised bed, and she always had begonias in there. So it sort of reminds me of her. She would love to garden. In fact, I wish I should have gone and gotten hosta. They have so many hosta around their pool area and in their backyard. At my old house, all the hosta at my old house came from their yard. I went and split it from them. So these little Francie hostas, or what she had a lot of these Francies. And then I did some of these are the blue, I think a big blue is what these are called. So these are like sort of a greenish, have a little bit of a blue tinge on the leaves. So there's 3 of them here to sort of anchor that. And then we've got a couple 3 hydrangeas here. I went with 2 endless summers, so you're gonna have some blue, and then sort of anchoring that back corner. That is a Bobo hydrangea. So that's like a whitish sort of yellow flower. And then again, these hosta will just sort of fill in. Fill in this area eventually. This is more phase 2 here, where we're going to do something with this, but I went ahead and put in some privacy trees here. Those are Deodar cedars. Those suckers are going to get big, so they're spaced out a lot larger. I mean, they can get up to 40 foot in diameter. I put them on a 20-foot spacing, or that's I think that's 20 feet between those. So we got the Deodar cedars. So these will kind of block out Jacqueline's house there. And then those are Little Jim magnolias. So those are sort of more of a dwarf variety of a magnolia. They only get about, I think they're like 20 feet tall and about 10 feet wide. Versus like she's got that magnolia there, which is massive. There was another magnolia over there, I believe, that we took out when we rehabbed that house. So we're going to do some more plantings over here in the future. I want to sort of cut and extend this driveway just a little bit wider. Maybe do a boulder wall or something there with some plants and stuff. That's phase 2. Also on this boulder wall here, when I do it, I'm going to let some like plants sort of flow over the boulders. We're also going to do some plantings along the fence. Something cool. I'm going to get with Jacqueline and see, what she wants to put on the fence over there, since her and I kind of split the cost of that fence. All right, so let's keep walking around here. Oh, I forgot about the tree. That is a quick fire hydrangea tree. So that's a hydrangea tree. It'll have like a white white flowers on it. And I believe it's a panicle flower, which is like a teardrop sort of shaped flower. All right, so going over here, another white muhly grass. And then we're going to have the Tennessee flagstone stepping stones that will run all along here. And the flagstones I got are actually more of a gray color. It looks almost like more like a bluestone, rather than your typical, like your Tennessee flagstones are like more of browns and oranges. So this is going to be more of a gray and orangey sort of color. So I'll have Tennessee flagstone stepping stones here. So I'll do that project. They'll be here on Monday. They're getting delivered on Monday. So again, we've got another endless summer hydrangea. We've got the Crimson Fire loropetalums, and then the Sunshine Ligustrums in the front. Over here, we've got a Bloodgood Japanese maple sort of as an anchor point. We've got 1, 2, 3... those are azaleas. They're the crimson. Well, they were supposed to be Crimson Fire, but they didn't have them. So they're still a red. They're a red Encore azalea. I can't remember the name of the ones we actually ended up buying because the nursery didn't have the other ones. But those are going to be a red. And then you've got in the back there along the wall, you've got 3 limelight hydrangeas. So those are going to get big, and they're just going to sort of anchor, like make a wall of just green and just white and yellow flowers there. Another Strawberry Sunday hydrangea here on the corner. And then we've got just a bunch of drift roses here. These are all coral drift roses here. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of these coral drift roses. So these are like a coral pink color. And then there will be flagstone steps going down this hill. So I'm going to make some steps out of the flagstone and some of the cobbles, and there'll basically be steps going down this hill. So that's why there's this gap in the middle. So this is going to be a project I'm going to film. We got Sunshine Ligustrums here, and we got a white muhly grass anchoring each corner. Need to put some got some ants making a nest there. All right, and then here what we've got, we're sort of alternating coral and peach, coral and peach, coral and peach. So these are all these are 2 rows of drift roses. They're going to be coral and peach. White muhly grass. These are kaleidoscope abelias here. We've got 4 of them, sort of at an odd sort of spacing. And then that's a white popcorn, or a white drift rose. I wanted popcorn, but they didn't have any popcorn at the nursery. So we've got white drift roses here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them, sort of a grouping of 5, again with the white muhly grass. And then these are 3 crepe myrtles. These are Natchez crepe myrtles. So these are going to get pretty big. They'll probably get 20, 30 feet tall, pretty wide, maybe like a 15, probably a 20-foot canopy on them. So they're going to get pretty tall, and they'll almost probably grow together and touch once they're mature. But these are Natchez crepe myrtles here. These are gold mop cypress here. We've got sort of a grouping of gold mop cypress, and then white muhly grass. And then we've got these blue chip, or these aren't blue chip. Yeah, these are the blue chip butterfly bushes. So you'll have this like blue purple sort of flower on the end of the bed here. So that's all of this. And I know this video is long, but we're going to go through this. We're going to be fixing all this drainage here. You can kind of see where the water flows across here. You can see the shadows. So we're going to be fixing all this because it keeps washing out. So we're going to dig out this high spot right here and define a swale better. And then we're going to send the water into a basin right here. And it's going to drop into a pipe. And the pipe's going to go underneath at sort of at an angle so we get enough fall. And then we're going to dump that pipe into this swale. And we're going to continue this swale. And we're going to put a patch of grass down the side where I'll put some sod in. And we're going to continue this swale all the way down. And this drainage swale is going to send all that water all the way down, and it's going to go back into the woods and into the creek. And we'll have to send it through a pipe under the driveway so that it doesn't keep washing this driveway out. So this is all just GAB Crusher Run. GAB has a little bit more gravel aggregate in it than Crusher Run does. Crusher Run's got more fines in it. But this GAB is Georgia Approved Base is what GAB stands for. So it's basically road base. We've got some more of that. And then these steps are going to come down to right here. Drainage wise, we're going to be putting in a basin here. I'll probably put in a 12-inch basin right here. And then I'm going to cut these pipes into the 12-inch basin. So you'll have clean out access for those pipes. And then these two are going to dump into a 6-inch pipe. We're going to do a 6-inch double walled pipe so I can drive across it. We're basically just going to run it through this trench and tie it back into that swale over there. And then we'll actually get rid of this swale and just gravel this, raise the grade a little bit here and gravel over the top of it. I'm cleaning up all this mess. I had all that lumber cut into, all that white oak cut into lumber, and cleaning up this mess. I've got tons of firewood to split. Some of this I'll keep into firewood. Some of it, I'm just trying to get rid of it. I have so much of it. I'm just throwing some of this stuff away. I know people are like, oh my God, why are you throwing that away? But it's like, I just have so much. So I don't need all of this. So cleaning this area up. Once I get all this cleaned up, they got their CO yesterday. So they're going to be moving in on Monday. So the house next door is basically done. They just got a little bit of touch-up painting left to do and get a pile of trash in the front. But they got their CO yesterday, finally. They went through the same saga with the local... There's one local building inspector here that's just a total douche nozzle. And he is so difficult to work with. All the rest of the inspectors here in Cherokee County are fantastic. But this particular gentleman, nobody likes him. He is the epitome of like building inspector on a power trip. And honestly, he's about to probably get demoted to desk job here soon because of the amount of complaints from lots of builders and contractors. Nobody likes him. So they went through a whole saga with him for like a week over just stupid, petty, piddly stuff. Just, he's so petty, but that's a different conversation for a different day. What we're going to do here is once we do this, dig this swale in, we're going to do sort of like a bed right here with some privacy trees in it. I'll probably get some I think some North Pole cedar, or I think they're cedars. Anyway, some evergreens sort of to just sort of block out their view through the window there. That's their sort of eat-in area in their kitchen. So we're going to do some little trees just to sort of create a privacy hedge here. So later phases of landscaping, walk around here. Backyard looks great. My new engine came in for my mower. I'm in the process of getting that all set up, swapping that out. And we're going up here. So this is going to be a big project here. We're going to have we're going to do a big paver patio out here with like a fire pit area right here. I think I'm gonna do like a Japanese maple right there to sort of anchor that corner. And this will all be, I finally planted these knockouts that have been sitting in pots since July. I put them in like a couple weeks ago, dug them into the ground. So those will finally grow. But this is gonna be a big paver patio area here. And then we'll get rid of this gravel when we do the paver patio, and we will actually do like pavers out to here. And then I'm gonna get a guy to come out and actually extend this driveway just a smidge. I thought this was gonna be enough for me to turn around and back in. But as you can see where my tire tracks go, if I just literally had 2 more feet of driveway here, I could cut it a little bit wider and back into the garage perfectly, but I just need like 2 more feet. So I'm probably gonna have to have a guy come out and probably just add like 4 more feet to the edge of this driveway here. We're gonna actually come in and bust up what I poured here. I mean, this is only like 4 bags of concrete, so we'll just break all this up and we'll re-pour this with the new driveway extension so that we can pitch all the water to this drain properly, and we'll create sort of a backstop, because you can see when it rains really heavy, not all of the water gets to this. Some of it flows off the edge here, so we're going to kind of create a backstop here so the water will work its way to the drain and go into the drain rather than flowing up over the side. So we'll just basically curve this around and add a few feet, and then we'll kind of like taper it back in over here or something and just add a little bit of extra concrete. There's a local guy that does short order concrete. He's got like one of those little trucks that only holds like, I think it's like 4 yards of concrete in the truck. So he's gonna come out here with one of those trucks and pour this part and just add a little bit of an extension onto our driveway. And then we'll fix all that. So that's the plan with the landscape. The backyard looks great. Well, the kids don't even use the swing set, but it's sort of my wife's grandmother got this for them before she passed away. It's sort of a keepsake memory. Kids don't even really use the swing set. But the backyard turned out fantastic. I got to get in there and sort of spray the back, and got a lot of pine straw to put out. But before I put pine straw out, we've got to run, we're doing landscape lighting. So my buddy Russ came over here last night for dinner, and we went over what we needed to order. So I'm going to order all the lights and stuff. We're doing some uplights some downlights and some uplights in the gables, and we're doing some uplights here on the side of the house. So I'm going to run all the landscape lighting. And then I also went to Ewing Irrigation Supply the other day and got all the stuff. I'm putting drip irrigation on all these plants, so I will be doing drip irrigation on all of this. So I've got to run all those drip irrigation lines before we put some pine straw down. So that's what's coming up. I know this video is long, but landscape, lots and lots of plants. It was a lot of work, and but it looks super pretty, and it's nice to not have a barren landscape anymore. So all right guys, have a good one. See you. Bye.